Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Center for Conscious Living. You have Spencer and Renee here bringing you our March topic for our Conscious Conversation series, and that is the story you tell sculpts your life. There in the description in the video, it'll tell you what we're doing, but in case you missed it, we are talking about creating a new story as your I am identity, the story of you determining your energy vibe, and perceiving a new story of you with clarity and choice. So we are looking forward to getting into that today, and want to thank all of you who join us as a member of our spiritual center. If you're not familiar with us, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We love all that you do and contributing with us. If you'd like to learn more about how you can become a member of our society, we have a link to our page, and it is in the description. I don't know why I said society. That's tripping me up now. Our community, we always call it like our society. It's a kind of a society, but community. It is in our description. Our website, scfcl.org/contribute. We have listed out different ways that you can contribute to our community and help grow your conscious living dynamics. With all of that being said, I have one more announcement. Our next date for our live stream will be April 16th. So please join us for that. And in the meantime, you can watch any of our library of videos already available to you on YouTube and Facebook. With all of that being said, I'll hand it off to Renee, and we'll get started.
Great. Hello, everyone. Good morning if you're with us live in this time zone or closed time zone. And hello to you wherever you are, whatever time it is. So we are delighted to be here. We are now bringing you a fresh new message once a month. And we appreciate you going to the website to be reminded of the date. I put a Facebook event up as well. The best way to keep up with what we have going on is just to go to our website, SCfCL.org. I believe it's in the description. I know it's on the Facebook page, and of course you can find it from the YouTube channel also. Just the letters SCfCL.org, or the whole name works too, Spiritual Center for Conscious Living.org. And you will see a schedule of events page. You'll see a page where you can find out how to participate at different levels of membership. If you'd like to make donations, you can do that there. If you want to just see what we're about and see if there's some way for you to bring your energy and talent, we would love to have you. So please do that. We do keep some information on the slides on the homepage. Try to keep the most newest things there. I really encourage you to join our email list, because I do send out an email once a week. The week we go live, we have the monthly newsletter with our reminder that we're going live, and then we have a replay that comes out. And so anytime we offer something other than on a live stream, it does come through the email list. So I really encourage you to be on our email list. We don't do a lot of emails. You won't be bombarded, but you will get about one a week, and that will keep you up to date with us. And we welcome you being a part of our community that way. So here's today's topic. Let's just all kind of take a breath and get grounded. Open your energy field to source, pure source, whatever name you like to use, the universe. I like pure source, the source of all life, beloved source, the power that creates worlds, divine creator. The divine is another one I really like. The divine of all, the divine creator of all. Some people use the word God, spirit, whatever word works for you. Just connect with that right now before we begin. Make sure you're also grounded in your body. Take a breath and relax all the way through. My kitty wants to come and participate. So here we go. Now the topic today, come here, baby. Come on, sweetheart. There we go. So our topic today is about how the story we tell creates the life we live, and it sculpts our life. literally that focus, it directs how the energy flows. So it's like sculpting it and forming it in manifested form. So I'd like you to get a picture of that, really get an image of that, either static image or a moving picture, the idea that every thought you think, which comes from beliefs are formed by repetitive thoughts, all of that, and the emotion that fuels it, adds fuel to it, all of that is flowing with focus, hopefully intentional focus, hopefully conscious, clear, intentional focus. Whether it's conscious or not, it is happening. So you're focusing and flowing energy, and it is literally sculpting. It's coming into manifestation and sculpting the life you experience. It is sculpting and forming and absolutely determining your life experiences. Now, I want you to ask yourself, feel into that for just a moment. How often do you think you're doing that consistently? Come here, baby. Go down here. Come on. How often are you doing that consistently, knowingly, consciously, intentionally? And how often is that just very kind of just haphazard, maybe frenzied, at the very least, without awareness, without conscious intention and awareness? So please don't be harsh with yourself, but please do be very honest. So I want to talk about the ideas of story before we go into the 3 points. Spencer read those to you. I'll read them again as we cover them. The idea of story is based on authentic awareness with yourself, within yourself, and about the world around you. It is not a story. Story can be used in a couple of ways, like little children, are told. Don't be telling stories, like making up things, right? Well, sometimes we want to kind of make up things in terms of part of the creation experience, but we don't want it to be delusional. We don't want to be in denial of what is happening. We do want to be clear that just because we've created something, that is not who we are. That is a creation experience. That is not our identity. The experiences we are having based on our creation, conscious or otherwise, are not who we are. They're an experience we're having. Hopefully one we intended to have and are enjoying. But one way or the other, it's not our identity. So a story, the story you tell to yourself about yourself and about life, please ask yourself right now, please just feel into this. Are you authentically aware, self-aware, or do you practice self-wisdom, self-love in the story you tell? Do you tell a story about yourself to yourself that is positive? When you want to change something in your life, do you go into a story about how the fact that you've experienced something you didn't want is somehow reflecting that you're bad or wrong or not enough in some way? What kind of story do you tell yourself about yourself? And that story will become like a filter that is how you perceive life and how you perceive your relationships with other people, whether you allow yourself to actually perceive them. If they're wonderful, do you perceive that, or is it never quite enough? If they're challenging, do you perceive that, or do you cover it up because you don't want to deal with it? You don't want to be honest with yourself and say, I am participating in energy dynamics, relationships with life and people in life and aspects of life that feel good in this way and don't feel good in other ways. Are you honest with yourself? Are you authentic with yourself? Do you have a perception about yourself that is authentic within how you speak to yourself, how you tell yourself who you are and what you want and whether or not you're achieving that and how it's working out. And then you're staying with that in that flow. So you can be the sculptor. And if it's starting to form something that in manifested physical reality that is not what you had in your mind when you envision this experience, are you staying steady with it and making adjustments in your creation experience? And remember, we're not talking about creating for other people. You create for yourself. Sometimes it most definitely impacts people you love. It always impacts the world because we're in the world, but you are focusing on your energy field because that's what you have mastery over or can achieve mastery over if you choose. You don't have the right to have mastery over others. You can most definitely create positive experiences for loved ones and for causes you believe in, and just for life in general. Most definitely, but it's you in your energy field that's doing it. So let's go through the points. The first point I wanted to cover is create a new story as your I am identity. So we teach here that your consciousness is the degree to which you are aware and aligned with divinity, being a creation of the divine, all of life being a creation of the divine. We are one with the divine, and we are meant to be in this lovely flow of energy that we orchestrate. We receive the flow, the life force from divine creator, from source energy. We are one with it. We are in it, and it is in us. So picture that for a moment. It's like, let's say you're swimming. That might be a way to, where you could think of the air. We are in the air, and the air is also within us. It's in our cells. It's in our body. We have water in our body, a large amount of water in our body. And so think about swimming. We're in the water, and then we also have water within us, and that water comes in through our cells. So we are one with source in every way we can possibly perceive it, if we are willing to open to that perception. And what is the benefit of opening to it? And what happens if we sort of resist it? We don't really entirely disconnect, but we can be resistant to it. So think about this: the power that created you, the power that created all living beings, all life, the earth itself, the cosmos. What would be the benefit of being one with that peaceful power and loving, joyful presence? Being in the flow of that stream of energy that is creation force for good, creation force for good. Well, by being one with it, then we have this amazing resource available, the resource of infinite intelligence, the resource of the energy that is love and creation force, ever expanding, and this amazing peace and the potential of joy, the joy that and peace that becomes enlightenment, and the requesting and receiving and allowing of miracles, what we think of as a miracle, which is really just time being collapsed, or something happening in a way we didn't know it was possible, beyond at that moment our human capacity to understand it, not beyond actual possibilities, infinite possibilities and potential, just beyond what we have experienced or had awareness of, or perhaps just beyond what we were previously able to allow ourselves to feel worthy of. So that's what I just described, that oneness, that being in that stream, that's your I am presence, your I am identity. And I ask you to be very aware, very conscious, very aware, and very intentional extremely intentional about how you use the phrase I am, because it is a power of creation in that. And I believe words are very powerful. I believe the energy behind the words is really where the power lies. If you, without meaning to, you're walking around saying things like, I am, and then you put something negative in there, tired, angry, fed up. Think about the phrases that are very commonly spoken in human culture. Specifically, think about the people you spend time with. What are the most common phrases that people say? I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Just take a moment. Select one or two, maybe three or four. Which ones of those do you hear the most? Which ones of those do you actually speak yourself most often? And then just, are they positive? Are they negative? You know, I'm happy today. I'm feeling great. I'm excited about something I'm in the process of creating. I'm excited about something I'm participating in with other people. Or you're frustrated, you're disappointed, you're hurt, you're angry, you're sad. I'm not wanting you to deny the feelings. I'm wanting you to realize that you might feel sad, but you don't want to claim it as your identity. You might feel very happy, and that's not your identity, but that is your energy, and that can be your consciousness. And you can make that an aspect of your I am presence, always in a space that is sincerely, authentically a happy experience, a joyful experience, an easeful experience, a gracious experience, a peaceful experience, a powerful experience, an exciting experience, a beautiful experience. You can make your I am identity something that always manifests that for you, that's always sculpting that ahead of you as you go through life. Or your I am identity, the story you tell, can be always preparing for the worst. And then, of course, having to deal with it because you aligned with it and identified with that as who you are and your truth, the truth of who you are. It's not the truth of who you are, but if you choose it, you will create it because you have mastery. You have sovereignty over your own energy field, the field around you, which then creates your experiences. They can be altered every moment for the better or for the worse. I hope let's learn to do it for the better together. Second point I want to talk about. The story of you determines your energy vibe. So we touched on that just now. Let's expand a little bit. What energy do you carry with you? It's what your consciousness emanates. And so then it becomes the energy in your field. Do you look at life and you say, life is so beautiful? Yes, there's some things that I'd like to be better. Yes, there are problems on planet Earth. I will contribute to good solutions in the areas that I have the capacity, that I have the interest. And in those that I don't, I will hold sacred space so that it is being done by others who have those skills and have that awareness and passion. So do you look at life as a journey of creation in a way that feels like awe and wonder, and it opens your, when you say it, it opens your energy, and you take in life force and you take in the energy of the divine, and you feel that oneness with yourself and the divine. And also you see that connection, that spark of the divine in all life. That's one story. There's a lot of other stories that can be told about life. There are challenges in life in the human realm, not the spiritual realm, but in the human realm. And so the part of us that is human Are we struggling all the time with that? And if you are, I have compassion. So please don't criticize yourself, but be very authentically aware that that is your story. I say that with kindness. It's important to become aware of that so that you can shift to a different story. You can decide that you will tell a new story about yourself for yourself. That story being, I am a creation of the divine. I am divinely loved. I am divinely supported. I am meant to be a powerful, joyful creator of my life as I choose it. A sovereign being at choice, co-creating on planet Earth. I have mastery over the energy field that is me, and that will impact powerfully others. It will influence. I will not try to dominate or diminish in any way other people's right and divine choice to create. I will instead create with those that we have harmony and balance and have a wonderful experience for myself. Also, it will support them having a wonderful experience for themselves. And together we will expand that wonderful experience out into the world to those who want to join us in whatever that focus is. The focus being creating more love, more truth, more beauty, more joy, more peace, more empowerment. One of the tenets we speak about here is evolving consciousness then expands our aliveness, our well-being, and our ability to participate in life with a positive, powerful influence. And then that will, the third tenet, elevate our lifestyle. Then we will be able to make contributions that bring and add and enhance the innate beauty of life and support wonderful new creations, be a part of it to whatever degree we choose, supporting others in their own way. Elevated lifestyle. Okay, one more thing to talk about today before we go into the meditative energy immersion. Perceive a new story of you with clarity and choice. So I used the word perceive because it's important to realize that we can all look at we could look at one piece of art, we could look at one situation unfolding, we could look at one another and perceive very different experiences, evoking different emotions, evoking experiences from the past that might trigger us in a positive way or a negative way. I think I'm about to sneeze. I have a tickle in my nose, so bear with me a second. So I ask you to just reflect for a moment. Now, first of all, how do you perceive yourself? Do you perceive yourself with wonderful qualities and maybe some habits you want to adjust? Mostly good. Mostly you perceive yourself with self-love that is sacred, not egotistical, and self-wisdom that is awareness, but not condemnation and judging and criticizing all the time. Do you love yourself into the best of you and then continually expanding that, continually loving yourself, supporting yourself to be the best you're capable of in the moment, have compassion for whatever limitations were there, and then adjust, shift your beliefs, release the negative beliefs, choose new ones, and in that way sculpt your experience and continually raise your ability to perceive beauty and joy and love with awareness, not denial and delusion, not painting it with the rose-colored view of life. That's not because you don't want to face it and you don't want to be honest with yourself about things that you want to change, or you Are you doing that with life? Are you looking at life as something that is constantly being molded, sculpted? It's always sculpting and always expanding. And so if there's something about it that isn't serving humanity, it isn't serving nature, it isn't serving the evolving of consciousness, the spiritual evolution, it can be shifted, it can be changed with conscious intention, clarity, and choice. But that cannot happen if we don't look at the story we're telling, and if we don't realize that we get to tell the story we want to tell, not a diluted story, not a denial story, but an awareness of life is always evolving. There's always a moment to create, and then the next moment to create, and then another moment. The point of power is always in the present moment. That's a quote from Louise Hay. She was a powerful teacher of that. It's many, many, many hundreds of teachers teach that, spiritual teachers, mentors, masters over many, many thousands of years have taught that. We are one with the divine. We have the power to focus and flow that divine light as an energy that is a creation force we can think of as divine love, always creating, supporting, expanding for the best. And when it doesn't turn out the way we want it, we examine what was not true, authentic. I like the word pure, what was not purely aligned in our consciousness with the choice we made. What about those were not aligned? Make an adjustment, go again. Create anew. Don't try to uncreate because it's in the past. Create anew in the moment. Create a new story about you, for you. Create a new story about how you perceive life and how you want to participate in life. And let that story unfold. Let yourself then be the sculptor of that story, using spiritual wisdom and tools in sacred ways, of course, always, with honor to all. And begin with sacred self-love, sacred wisdom, self-wisdom, and sacred honor about yourself, telling a very positive story about you. Yes, we all have things we can improve upon. Be honest about that, but don't make that a negative, don't make that your I am identity. It's not. It's something that your human self is working on. Allow your divine self to support your human self in that flow. Let's do that together now. Let's do I call it a meditative energy immersion. I'm going to bring you into a space. I know Spencer has music for us. Thank you, Spencer, for that. So let's take a breath together and come into this space, a sacred space. Deep breath, please. Oh. Sacred space. I'm going to hold this energy for you to help you immerse yourself in it. It's the energy of source. It's not me. I'm just holding a space, helping to hold a frequency to make it easier for you. As you hear my words, you can then open to source. And if you choose, I invite you to align with the energy coming through as I hold this space and guide us together. What is the story you've been telling of yourself, to yourself? I hope it's a love story, celebrating you, cherishing you, and always championing you. I hope that's true. To whatever degree that is not true, I invite you in this moment to just choose anew. Very simply, lay down whatever the pattern has been that was less than cherishing, celebrating, championing. Just lay it down, let it go, let it just dissipate and go out into the universe. Let it just return to source. Just return to source. Don't send it to anybody that might be a part of it. Just send it back into the light of the one, the divine creator of all. Let it dissipate and return to pure source energy. And choose anew in this moment how you will perceive yourself with love and honor and sacredness and joy and eagerness, cherishing, championing you, and celebrating every accomplishment, knowing you did the best you could in that moment. If it wasn't 100% what you wanted, choose anew, go again. Support yourself to do better. Don't just demand it of yourself. Open to the divine. Open to your divine self. Don't try to do everything as a human alone. You're not. The most powerful part of you is your divine self. The spirit, the spirituality, the soul. There are many ways people use to describe that. Take a breath, please. What is the story you tell about life? How do you perceive life? Life is hard. If you've had tough experiences in childhood, young adulthood, even recently, whatever age, just difficult experiences can alter our perception, and we can begin to believe that to be the truth, that is the truth of who we are. We make that our I am identity, that it's hard to be a creator of what you choose in life. And it is hard when you don't have the skill set. It is hard when you don't have the wisdom. And it is very daunting when you don't have the conviction to hold steady while you're learning to be a conscious creator, a person who lives consciously. You have to have the courage to stay with it and keep going. Not in denial, not with delusion, but with very clear intention of mastery. And that's what we're here for. We have new services coming to help you. New curriculum will be teaching, more tools to come out to you, videos and audios, gatherings, private, where we can go deeper in conversation and connect one-on-one. We're here to serve you, to gain mastery as a conscious creator. Conscious living is what we call it. It's a beautiful, powerful way to live. Choose anew at this moment the story you will tell of yourself and life, you being here for an amazing, awesome, wondrous journey of creation. Living consciously, creating by choice. The spiritual mastery, bringing into your human enjoyment, wonderful experiences by your choice, by your choice. All right, one more breath, dear one. And now, bring yourself back into focus with us as you are ready. Take a little time if you need to. Make sure you're grounded in your body. It helps to take a deep breath and exhale with sound that activates the vagus nerve. Let's do that together. Oh, maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. Make sure you get really all the way back in your beautiful human body. We are blended beings, human and spiritual. We want to enjoy being both. We chose to be on planet Earth at this time to experience a really powerful time of consciousness evolving and enjoying humanity at a higher level of consciousness than ever before. And we chose to be here to be a part of it. Those of us who have this awareness, you wouldn't be with us if you weren't one of those. I invite you to stay with us as we focus on that all year, really support you, all of us together, supporting each other to enjoy the best of that opportunity. All right, Spencer, are we ready to move into the conversation?
We are. And as a reminder, everybody, we do open this up to conversation. We call it conscious conversation. So you can interact with us by using the comment section on the respective platform you're watching us. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can make comments, ask questions. You do have to subscribe to us on YouTube in order to get that access. It's just 5 minutes, so just go to our main page and click subscribe, and you will then be able to participate in our chat there. Facebook, you should be able to participate um, straight off the video feed. So we welcome your comments. We do ask that you respect everybody's privacy in sharing your experience with us. We don't want anybody to feel like there is a betrayal or some sort of privacy breach. So try to keep it as anonymous as possible and respectful. And we're happy to answer any questions or comments that you do have.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We love to hear from you. If you want to make a comment or ask a question, I encourage you to go ahead and put those in it. There is a little delay sometimes on Facebook and YouTube also. Sometimes it might be best to make brief, like make two comments with a couple of questions if you want. Sometimes it helps get it through a little faster and more. And I think there's a limitation on, every platform is different, but so just brief question. You can ask as many as you want, and we will address them. And then I will give you an opportunity to answer back. And if there's something else, that if I didn't answer it quite, and Spencer, he chimes in too, of course. And so he does a great job of monitoring that. So we'd love to hear from you. If you don't have a question, or maybe you're feeling a little shy about asking it and you just want to say hello, please do so. It really does help to be a part of the energy exchange. It's good for you to receive and be in the flow of then just extending your presence by just saying hello, that you're here, and where you're from, if you'd like to. Okay, Spencer. So I'm going to review the 3 points we covered, and then we'll just open it for conversation. So just as a review, our topic is the story you tell sculpts your life. And the 3 points we talked about were, number one, create a new story. Create a new story as your I am identity. Number two, the story of you, the story you tell, determines your energy vibe. Number three, perceive a new story of you with clarity and choice. So, Spencer, any comments you want to bring about what I talked about? Anything people are commenting or questions you might have?
So I just checked online and I do not see any comments so far. So we'll revisit that in a minute, I think, and see if there is anybody typing something out
Okay.
now. I guess I had a question that is very kind of basic, I think. Um, creating a new, and I know we're talking about how to do that in um the message and everything from earlier. My question is, if you're somebody who is like brand new to all of this is something that is somewhat foreign, like where would a good starting point be in terms of like a practice standpoint in doing that? Because this is some um deep-seated stuff that happens in our lives that creates our personalities, and I guess pulling it apart isn't always the easiest to do.
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you for that.
Hmm.
So, for anyone who is new to understanding consciousness and how to focus and flow energy, how to direct your energy, I would start with this. I would start with, and if you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to email a tool that would help you also. So I would start with just understanding that you are a being of energy, light, people often say, but light, that's energy. So it's kind of like we're a hologram of energy that we think of ourselves as physical, but remember we do have, we have measurements of our heart and our brain. We do know that we have an electric current, you could say, a current of energy. And then ancient Chinese meridian and all of that works, has been around for thousands of years to help keep our body healthy. So we are not our body. We have a body. We are a spirit, a soul, an energy being. And we're here with a body for the purpose of being a blended being on planet Earth. So how do you do that? Now, how you do that is you start noticing your energy, the sensual experience of moving around in your human body, not just the touch, like touching yourself. I don't mean that. I mean sensing energy. Just start sensing energy. You can tell when you walk into a room, or let's say you go to a grocery store or a store that's filled with people. You can feel the energy of the people there, the mass consciousness, you would call that, and start noticing it when you're in a group of people that you know, or larger group of people you don't know, and just start noticing it, not trying to change it. Not trying to change anyone else. Notice how you feel. Notice when in your body you'll have a response. You might be in your stomach, it might be your throat tightens, it might be you get a headache, it might be if it's like you get that fight or flight or freeze, you get the kind of the adrenals kick in and your legs kind of get like ready to run kind of thing. Just start noticing the sensual experience of energy. And then every day create a practice. And here's I wanted to set that foundation. And then here's the practice I would recommend. The daily practice, if you're new, very simple. You want to choose to align with the divine. Open your heart. There's a third eye that's actually in the center of your brain. Pineal is generally considered where that is, to make it simple, keep it very simple. Just heart and mind of one accord, open to the divine. Just practice, first of all, opening, aligning with divine energy, the divine, the pure source, power that creates life. Practice that. Give yourself a few minutes to do that every day. And then after you feel that you have aligned to the best you're able in the moment, then make a conscious choice. How will you focus and flow energy today? And a choice would be something like this. I choose to focus and flow energy to create and experience joy. I choose to focus and flow energy to create and experience peace. If you are trying to solve a problem, choose to focus and flow energy for the purpose of clarity, for the purpose of certainty, confidence, courage, conviction, compassion, as you're trying to understand something in a relationship, maybe. So you choose the energy and then allow it to come to you. So you align, and then you make a choice how you will focus and flow energy. And then you practice being in awareness and allowing support all day. Does that help?
I think so. I hope that our viewers find that helpful if that's something they struggle with. I know that for a lot of people that it's easy for us to talk about, but sometimes the practicality gets in the way of actually carrying out um those changes.
I agree, and I appreciate that because we don't know everyone who watches, and so we don't always know the level of of the the progression on spiritual path someone might be in, level not being one better than the other, just progression. And so if we ever are speaking in a progression that you'd like to understand better, please don't be shy. I think Spencer did a good job of bringing that up to make it very comfortable for you to ask questions like that, even if you think they're very basic.
Yeah, and it's, it's something that it's a type of like fitness. It's not the same as physical working out or exercise type of a thing, but I think being that we are in this physical plane, people like to think of it sometimes it's we can talk about it, but unless you've actually once you've actually experienced it and tried it, then you have to get your um kind of bearings straight. And sometimes it's easier to say, okay, I'm going to do 10 push-ups and then I'm going to do 10 sit-ups every day, sort of a thing. We don't, don't always have that in the spiritual world of it. You can't really prescribe anything because it's all subjective as well.
Yes, I've always taught working with people a process, a daily process that I call setting your daily compass, like you're basically setting the frequency you want for the day. And I always recommend joy. The reason is, if you go to Map of Consciousness, you can Google that. You'll see this like chart. And Abraham Hicks has another one that's great, emotional chart of awareness, I think is what they call it, vibrational awareness. And joy is the level where miracles happen. It's where uh, it's actually higher than love. There's love and then joy, love and peace and joy. And peace is where you begin to have enlightenment. Joy is where you have miracles. And I think I said that in the wrong order, but anyway, joy is a great one because we have a tendency in our human culture to think we have to struggle to achieve something. We have to go through some kind of sacrifice or suffering and overcome, always overcoming. And so we set out a creation pattern that requires us to overcome in order to have what we want. So we can change that by saying, we don't deny that there's reality that needs to be dealt with, but we don't let that become our identity. It's an experience. It's not who we are. And we choose a new, then to, okay, while we're dealing with this experience, let's bring in the energy of joy, because we can have joy while we solve a problem. We don't have to be sad and angry. We can, in fact, we'll have better response with the higher frequency of, if you can't get to joy, then be at peace or be in a state of love and be in a state of calm and clarity. Choose a high energy, the highest you can, that you feels true. Don't, this isn't about, this isn't the thing that people get confused about with affirmations, where you claim it, but you don't feel it. So it feels like you're lying and you're just, deluding yourself. You don't want to deny what you're experiencing. You honor the emotions you're having, but you choose a new energy to align with in order to create from that consciousness. It goes back to, in science, what Einstein made very clear. Other scientists have too, and certainly in more recent years, a lot of the new, quantum physics and things. We do have to be at the we cannot create at a frequency that we are not holding ourselves. And so, where Einstein said the level of thinking, you have to advance your level of thinking beyond, higher than the level of thought, consciousness, energy, focus that the problem was created from. And that's how he's solved amazing, quote, problems, came up with solutions for new ideas in the world that had not been heard of before. Other scientists too, of course, many. All right, Spencer, where are we now?
We are. I do not see any comments online. Again, I'm going to triple check that just to make sure that I'm not missing any questions or comments that our online community has. Yep, I'm not seeing. Let me check one more spot because sometimes Facebook is tricky.
We
with
do
it.
some, it has happened a few times, and we apologize. Sometimes there's a delay with Facebook, and it takes, and we end up going off the live stream, and there was a comment we didn't
Hmm.
address.
Yeah, I do not see any comments on anything. I am good with my questions and comments, so I am complete whenever um we feel it's a good time.
Okay, great. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Let's see. I think yes, here's one thing I want to just go ahead and toss out one more thing. As you are practicing this new skill of becoming aware of the story you tell about yourself and about life, notice when the story you tell is based on the pain you've experienced in the past. So sometimes we do that, is we think we have to do that to honor the experience, especially if it involves other people, to honor that there were things, like we've certainly had horrific things in human consciousness that were just horrifically cruel. And so we can honor that that happened and create a better experience for ourselves and the planet, all life, without identifying with the pain, aware of it. Compassion doesn't mean we identify and live it. We are aware of it. We identify that it happened, but we don't make it we don't choose to align with that frequency, because it's kind of like, you think about somebody, the example I offer, because it's very simple. You've heard me say it before, probably. If someone's drowning, you don't suffer with them to save them. You have to be this one who's the strong one, who's in your swimming and your thinking and your choices, strong and wise, to pull them out. You can't go and mimic them. You can't go through the drowning process with them, because that's compassion. That's not compassion. See, and so we get confused about that. So we want to honor whatever pain you've experienced, or life has shown you, for yourself or others. Absolutely, we're not denying that. Don't get lost in it as your identity. It is not who you are. It's not who the people were that experienced it either. That's not anyone's identity. It was an experience that was created, sometimes on purpose, sometimes by ignorance and unconsciousness. We can make better choices and resolve it. And we can do that more powerfully and more effectively and more swiftly from higher energy choices, higher frequency, at clearer choices, and then staying in that higher, more empowered state as we make changes in life on planet Earth for a better world for everyone. That was all I had. Is before we sign off, Spencer, anything else we want to talk about?
I am good. I do not have anything else, and I don't see any comments that have come trickling in during that.
Okay. I know we had a time change this today in the US for most play locations. So we may be on at a time people didn't expect, or perhaps, we don't
Yeah.
always all make the change the first day. Okay, so let me just remind everyone that our next live stream will be April 16th. And we're going to go a little deeper into the idea of how we are in an experience, but we don't want to get lost in it to the extent that we confuse that that's who we are and what we are, and how to be in the world and be very aware, very grounded, very practical and wise about experiences, without confusing the emotion and fear and pain and angst that might happen as who we are, and thinking we have to join in that in order to make some sort of improvement. So we're going to really go into understanding this difference of being in an experience without becoming of it, identifying with it. We're going to go deeper with that next month. So you can watch for that event on Facebook, and also on our email list, you'll get emails notifying you that I'm up, reminding you of the date. I invite you to go to the website if you're not already on the email list, SCfCL.org. Join our email list for our Conscious Living community, and we will keep you abreast of everything coming up. And let's see what else we thank you. We are so thankful for those of you who support us with the energy of your presence regularly. We are thankful for those of you who send financial contributions regularly, or even sporadically. Everything helps us to do what we do and keep this live stream available without having to charge for it. Also, we have other things that we will be coming up with, and so it helps us to advance more offerings for everyone. So if you'd like to learn more about that link is on the description. It's basically it's our website, and there's a scfcl.org/contribute. It shows different ways to contribute your energy to support our vision. And our vision is described in the description as well. It is our intention to teach conscious living principles, as to some extent at least, do it for free. And then occasionally we have to have events that we have more expenses, so we have charges for those. But we do like to have at least one thing we can offer that is free to the public, so that anywhere around the world people could come and learn what is conscious living, how it will change your life, how it is the fastest, most effective and way to accomplish lasting change, not just a momentary change, but lasting, sustainable, high consciousness change, and for the betterment of all life on planet Earth. And we are very grateful that you're with us, and we thank you for watching on the replay as well. If you have a question on the replay, be sure to put it in the comments. I will be notified, and I'll come in and answer it for you. And if you have a question that's a little bit private, you can always email me, Renee at Spiritual Center for ConsciousLiving.org. We also have emails on the website if you don't catch that. And in the emails that go out, you can always reply if you have a question for me. If you have a topic you'd like us to cover, we'd love to hear that from you. Please let us know. All right, Spencer, anything else before we sign off?
Nope.
Okay. Have a wonderful month of March, and we'll be back in April. My advice and wisdom and encouragement is the daily practice of awareness. What story are you telling? You can set your tone in the morning. This is the story this is who I choose to be today. This will be my I am identity. And then at the end of the day, reflect. What story did I tell today? What story did I tell to myself about myself? What story did I tell to others about me? And what story did I tell to myself about life? And then if it's not the story you want to create more of, make a commitment to shift it. And every morning, start again with a higher consciousness choice for how you will create your experiences that day. Reach out if we can be of any help with that. Many blessings and lots of love to you.